I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for the U.S., which is the most important part, but I think it'll also be good for Mexico and Canada. Yeah,
I think so.
what is it? Strong fences, or was it tall fences make strong friends, or strong fences make good neighbors? Uh, but I think setting up some restrictions, some regulations, some boundaries.
I think, I mean, from everything I've heard, he likes to threaten, but what he's really doing is negotiating. That's his style. He wrote a book on it. So
Yeah.
he's just talking a big talk to try to make the trade agreements more favorable to the U.S. And
Well, there's also some more recent events about uh, NAR, National Association of Realtors. Not only that settlement, but now there's a bit of a scandal going on. Some more things breaking about campaign donations and sexual harassment. Do you have any thoughts on that?
yeah, the National Association of Realtors has gotten hit hard this year, and in all areas. Of course, there's the lawsuit with the commissions. A lot of brokerages that were just basically following NAR guidelines got hit very hard as a result. And even though that's been settled, it doesn't sound like it's settled. Like now there seems to be some question about the contracts that NAR is requiring that brokers have a contract in place showing what the commissions are. And it sounds like the DOJ, the Department of Justice, is questioning it. So, real estate agents are wondering, are we going to get another lawsuit for doing what NAR is telling us to do, like, last time? So, and then the sexual harassment accusations and now some possible misappropriation of funds. Who knows? NAR is getting hit hard. I think that giant is getting slayed a little bit. NAR has had tremendous power, tremendous lobby power. A lot of the benefits to real estate have come from that lobby, but it is getting severely attacked right now. So, in general, it's kind of surprising that realtors and NAR survived once Zillow came along and kind of opened up the MLS. Once the average person could find the property without having to have an agent show them, that changed things. So a lot of people thought that would be the end of the realtor. It really wasn't at all. It's kind of shocking. A person could find the property themselves and still pay that 6%. So the question is, are we on the verge of change? And I think it's a mixed bag. I think, yes, Zillow could become the new NAR. If you could get everything you need from Zillow, do you need to follow these guidelines of NAR anymore? Is it really going to help brokerages? It's really only hurt them this year. But if you are selling, let's just say you're selling $1 million house in San Francisco, are you going to stick it on Zillow, or are you going to get someone who's got a client list and who's going to show it and be there and walk you through it? I mean, it's a huge transaction. If you're trying to buy a house and there's limited inventory and there's 10 different offers, are you just going to do that on Zillow, or are you going to have an agent help you negotiate, help you through that process, who really knows how to do it and make the right offer? So as much as technology is changing the game, at the end of the day, these are big transactions. And oftentimes you want an expert to handhold you. How that expert is going to do that may change. Maybe there's a process that will change. I mean, a lot of real estate agents aren't really that qualified, and I think those ones will go to the wayside. But it's kind of like, I still pay a lot of money to attorneys. I still pay money to title companies to make sure that, I've got clean title. And people who don't know anything about real estate, they're going to need a guide. And I think that the guides that are out there, whether it's under NAR or independent or who knows, they're going to have a really good track record and know what they're doing.
Things certainly seem to be in flux, but I think if we look back, throughout history, everything's changing all the time.
Yes.
And we mentioned Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think it was Kiyosaki who said there are three sides to a coin, uh, and it doesn't matter which side is in the office at the time. You've got the heads, tails, and then you've got the edge, and he likes to stand on the edge, look go down on either side, and just make his decisions accordingly. And it seems that it's a similar philosophy to what you mentioned earlier in the interview. Yeah, it's a good place to start landing on the plane. And I just want to ask you, what what in your mind, what is your definition of leading a life of impact?
Oh, I really think it's living your purpose here on earth. And for everybody, I think that's very unique. So, number one job that we have is to find out what we're here to do. What are the gifts that we were given? When we're living our purpose, we're the most happy. But it's so different for everyone. There's people who just were born to be nurses and doctors and take care of other people. There were people who were born to be mothers and fathers, and they just want to focus on their family, and that's their impact. There are people who were meant to be teaching, like me. I'm just supposed to be teaching. It's when I feel my best. And so it's really using your God-given gifts and not ignoring them. That's where you feel the most pain. Like if you were meant to be a singer and you were afraid to sing, you would feel the pain of not being able to express your art. If you're a soldier and you know that your purpose is to protect and you can't, that would be painful. So it's like, just again, knowing what your gifts are and having the courage to develop it.